Welcome back to the Ingredients for Success podcast. I'm your host, David Hoover. I'm filling in for Jacqueline Rizzo. And today our guest is the amazing Alexis Collins.
Oh, you're too kind.
I'm just getting started. Alexis is the Director of Product and Brand Strategy here at Stratum Nutrition, but more importantly, she's my boss. So I am required by law to say she is smart, funny, and a very talented scientist and researcher with a broad experience in nutrition and medicine. Do I get a raise for saying all that? No?
No comment.
Okay, I'd like to start with a 3-question warm-up just to get us going here. Let's start with question 1. What shows, movies, or books are you into right now?
Well, I think my favorite show of the year is The English, which was on Amazon, and it was a mini series with Emily Blunt in it. And it was amazing. It was such a good Western. Like it was so good. So that's a real, it's a heavy drama though. So it's not lighthearted. It's not Ted Lasso. So know what you're getting into with watching that. But
what era is that set in? I guess Western. Is it a modern Western?
No, like early, pioneer days. I think it took place in Kansas, and there was, one wooden house on the prairie, kind of. So
that is Kansas.
Not modern. Yeah, so definitely not modern, but that was great. And then super excited to take my daughter to go see Avatar 2.
Yes.
This holiday. So that's another one. Very much looking forward to that.
Big film coming out. Absolutely. All righty. Hey, you passed question 1.
Yay.
Let's go question 2. What's your go-to karaoke song?
Oh my goodness.
If you're not into karaoke, what's your go-to in the car jamming by yourself song?
Oh, that's so personal. I mean, it changes, right? Like I've got so many different songs for different moods. Right now, I am just belting out Please Come Home, for Christmas at the top of my lungs. Yeah.
Okay.
So I think my children are really sick of that. But it's, my house is full of Christmas songs right now. So it's belting out Oh Holy Night or Baby Please Come Home.
The holiday spirit is alive at the Collins house, huh?
Yes, it is.
Congratulations, you passed question 2. Here we go. Woo-hoo. Question 3. What's something most people don't know about you?
Oh my goodness. I mean, a lot, because I'm an introvert.
You are an introvert.
Yes. I really like to crochet blankets.
That's a cool one. That's
cool. I think meditative exercise for me. I like to just sit and knit like the little old lady I am inside.
I think going back to the introvert thing, I think people would find that interesting because you do such an amazing job on presentations at Supply Side West. You've spoken a few times. You always present yourself well. So I think people would be surprised to know that you are an introvert.
Well,
that's my personal opinion.
Very kind of you to say. I always like to say that, introverted people, it doesn't mean that we don't like to get up and present or talk to people. I think it's different than being shy. Introvert just means that after I do those presentations and whatnot, I am wiped out. So I need to go and lie down and just recharge my battery, knit a blanket, or go watch a nice mini series, Western mini series. So
absolutely,
definitely need to recharge. But I like doing those things.
I love it. All right, let's go. Bonus question.
Okay.
Who is your favorite Stratum employee with the initials DH? That's very specific.
This is hard.
With the initials DH. Think about it.
Okay. I don't think I'm going to pass this question.
Okay.
It's you. Of course it's you. I love working with you. No, it's great.
Oh, that's great.
You are a fantastic person to work with. So.
Well, thank you very much.
And I appreciate you.
I know you are required to say that.
So. And all of your extrovertedness.
Right. All right. Jokes aside, appreciate you coming on the show. Basically, we're going to do a recap on Stratum's year, maybe the look ahead for Stratum. So I want to start out. Let's kick it off with some postbiotic talk, right? Postbiotics big right now. Mm-hmm. In 2021, the International Scientific Association of Probiotics and Prebiotics released a consensus statement on the definition of postbiotics. There's been a lot of debate across the industry regarding their definition. What are your thoughts on the definition? And where do you think ISAP may have missed if they did?
Sure. So there has been a lot of debate, certainly across the industry for the definition. So to start off, I do greatly appreciate ISAP stepping up and creating boundaries, trying to create a definition for technical people to know what they're talking about when it comes to postbiotics, because it was a term that was being used and there was no consensus definition. So ISAP got together a group of unbiased scientists. They bring them together and they all discuss, and these are experts from all different areas of the microbiome and gut health and dietary supplement everywhere. They all come together and they discuss and they come to a consensus. So that's how this definition was reached. And I think people in our industry need to know that, because ISAP it's not an association that is as deeply involved in our dietary supplement industry as other associations. So there's a lot of unfamiliarity with ISAP. So I think it's really important for people in our industry to know how that definition was reached. It's not just this foreign body saying this is what postbiotics are. It was a consensus of technical people. And so that I think needs to be said. And so they came out with this definition and it got passed along, it was published, and now our industry is debating it. And I think there is a lot of debate happening, but most of it that I've listened to or even been a part of seems to be going in circles. So the definition is good. I think that it is a sound definition and that it was needed. I think that ISAP in our industry needed more presence to really get that definition going in these debates and in these discussions. So it would be really great if other associations that were more deeply involved in our industry stepped up and tried, and took more of a leadership role in guiding our industry on postbiotics. There are plenty of postbiotic suppliers out there, whether they fit the ISAP definition or not. And I think that this whole group of ingredient suppliers could use a bit of help, a bit of discussion, a bit of community. And I think that our industry would really benefit from some of our trusted associations that are deeply involved in the industry from taking more of a leadership role on guiding postbiotic use and what are postbiotics and just getting that clarified and across.
Absolutely. I would agree. Do you think, so ISAP, do you think they'll add another P to their name?
I think
The ISAP.
They really do. So ISAP, the International Scientific Association of Prebiotics and Probiotics and Postbiotics. They're going to define them. So they need the 3 Ps, right? They've got the 2 on the end. They need to have that 3rd P. I completely agree.
Absolutely. I would agree on that. Maybe they'll pick it up and run with it. So.
Maybe. Yeah. I do just want to reiterate, I do really like the work that they do. I just think that they're not as well known in our dietary supplement industry. So when I'm talking to brands about what a postbiotic is, and I bring up ISAP, not a lot of them really have an association with that name. Right. And so we get in the door with brands because the term postbiotic is definitely gaining interest. And, we mentioned the definition, but I don't really think that's what's winning, for us marketing L-Biome. In the end, what really is making the sale with L-Biome, and it's kind of as it should be, are the actual science-backed claims we have for the fast digestive support the ingredient provides, and just the ease of use when using a postbiotic ingredient like L-Biome, how it remains efficacious in every delivery format. So yes, I think sorry, I'm kind of rambling on here, but yeah, it's I think the definition's great. I think we have a long way to go. I don't think that should hold up postbiotic ingredients, but maybe there's a nice middle ground. So
right. Yeah. And so you mentioned L-Biome. L-Biome is of course Stratum's postbiotic that we supply to North America. So,
Yep.
Great ingredient. Shameless plug right there.
Shameless plug.
All righty. Let's move on. So, what are some of your top 2022 highlights from Stratum Nutrition?
This is always so hard for me because I'm a bit like Dory, like my short-term memory is okay, but my
Right.
long-term, man.
So, like something that happened in the past week,
Yeah, it's like
basically.
I'm like, I could think about the last month and just be like, yeah, December, November, okay. And then it's really kind of getting supply side west is already getting a little bit gray, even though that was early November. Yeah. So overall, I think that we've done really well in 2022, and this encompasses a lot of highlights, but our company is just being more and more recognized for the good work that we're doing. We are a company that values relationships with our customers, and from what we're supplying to our customers, we are pretty selective with what goes in our portfolio and what we manufacture. We do have high standards, and I think that that's coming across. And we're just being recognized as a really good ingredient distributor to work with, which in the end means that I've got a backlog of items
Right.
that I need to review. But it's great. It's great to be recognized as that. And then I don't know if I can say that we're also going to be recognized.
I think it's
Okay.
safe to
Okay.
say that we are supplier of the month for a trade publication. We'll leave out the trade pub. How's that?
Okay.
And just say
So
supplier of the
yeah.
month. So, yep.
So being recognized that way, in industry publications. And then I think some highlights are just overall, like we were showing up in so many more conferences and trade shows and webinars than we ever have in the past.
Mhm.
And this stems from many things. I think we have a great marketing department.
Oh, stop.
Managed really well. Great marketing management. And then also we just really do have enthusiasm behind our ingredients. And again, I think
Mhm.
this all ties in together, right? So we're recognized as a great ingredient distributor to work with. It's because we bring on ingredients that we feel excited about because they've got the potential that we see with the science, with their growth, with their story. They're unique. So all of that feeds together, and we've been out there educating on our ingredients so much this year. So those are really all of the highlights, different conferences, different webinars, different ingredients, whether it's NEM for, women-centric claims and exercise recovery support, or if it's
Mhm.
L-Biome and really pushing postbiotic education and digestive health, or ahi flour, going after vegan omega interest.
Mhm.
It's been a good year as far as ingredient education opportunities go for us. So
Mhm.
that's what I'm proud of.
Absolutely. Let's go. Were there any challenges or obstacles that Stratum successfully overcame this past year?
Yeah, yep, definitely. I think everybody in the industry felt a bit of a challenge
Absolutely, I believe
this
so.
past year. So I don't think we were alone. It was very, very weird going from the crazy growth of 2021 that many of us experienced, and then going right into 2022 with all of the economic scares and rumors, and it made for a very strange concoction between
Exactly.
suppliers and customers. And so I think we weathered it very well.
Mhm.
And we continued to grow even over the past year. And we understand there's always going to be highs and lows, and we don't stop
Mhm.
working through the lows. So
Mhm.
since we kept our nose to the grindstone and kept on moving forward, I think we're going to have a really exciting 2023 because of all of the work that we were putting in 2022.
Okay, let's go. What trends in the natural product industry do you see taking off in 2023?
So definitely still trending very, very high is going to be all mental health categories. So
Mhm.
that really took over during the pandemic years, and I don't see it slowing down. So anything having to do with sleep, mood, stress, focus, even energy when it's applied to mental energy. So I think that that's definitely going to be a 2023 trend. functional food like delivery formats. So people want to they want to get unique ingredients in ways that are easy to consume. And I don't think the capsule itself is going anywhere, but I think that gummies and all sorts of bars and even pouches, we'll continue to see all sorts of everything. We'll continue to see that grow. So having, different delivery formats for sure. And postbiotics, I don't see that slowing down. I don't see postbiotics reversing, mainly just because of the ease of inclusion in those different delivery formats that I just mentioned. So, trying to get digestive health claims in something that's manufactured under high heat, like a gummy, postbiotics are there for the win. So I think that they will continue to grow, especially as people become more familiar with the term, and they see the science that's behind some strong postbiotic ingredients for digestive health that we might sell. So.
On the gummy side, we had some L-Biome gummies that we had made, and we got to sample those out, and I will say those were really, really tasty.
Is it bad?
So,
is it bad for me to just honestly say they were so good?
They were so good.
They were just, because some gummies are just like little bricks and some are really wet and too gooey, and these were like fruit snacks. It took me back to being a kid and having just those basic fruit snacks that no longer exist anymore, where they're a little bit more firm than what's available today. But
like in your lunch boxes, you couldn't wait to get to the gummies. They were kind of like the dessert.
But they were like a little drop. They were like a little drop fruit snack, and they just don't make them anymore. So I don't know. They were probably like horrible for us. I have no idea what was in those.
So be on the lookout for L-Biome gummies, right?
Yes, L-Biome gummies for sure. Be on the lookout. That's definitely something that will be available in 2023 for anybody who's interested in seeing how awesome they taste and how great you can feel digestive wise afterwards. And then let's see, what other trends taking up in 2023. So we saw at Expo West in 2022, everything was free from, to the point where it was like, what is in the product? Because it was all advertising what is not in the product. So I don't see that slowing down. So many of our customers have allergen-free or vegan, self-imposed boundaries, because that's who they're marketing towards. And so, that's a great fit for ahi flour. So luckily that's trending still, and I don't see that slowing down in 2023. And then I just sent the whole group out an article today that came out in the New York Times called "The Menopause Gold Rush," which was a great article. It's a good read, and it bodes really well for NEM with our specific postmenopausal women exercise recovery research. So I'm excited about that. That's definitely going to be a strategy that we'll keep pushing in 2023, since it seems like there are a lot of big players that are also pushing the menopause discussion, the agenda to get women going through menopause support. And I think that we just fit in perfectly there. So that's exciting. And so I think that's great. Like personally, I love to see that. So I'm like, yes. So,
I guess part two of that question then is that, like, what would you like to see trending in 2023?
Well, definitely the female researched ingredients. I've had lots of discussions this year with different groups, with different individuals who are also pushing that agenda. So it would just be great to see female researched ingredients broadcasted as such and standing out in women's specific formulas. And postbiotics, I really do hope that there is more consensus, more discussion that leads to consensus, and more guidance coming up in 2023, not by suppliers of postbiotics, but by associations that the industry listens to. I don't know. I love different delivery formats because I'm such a funny supplement user. I take my supplements and I do like them, but I do get pill fatigue. It's just being a mother of small children and working full time and everything else. Sometimes it's just that, like, I just can't get over that hurdle.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely. Pill fatigue is a real thing. It's a real
yeah,
thing. So.
yeah. So I love unique functional foods and unique delivery formats that make taking the same supplement in a different way possible.
Mhm.
So I'm
Mhm.
excited for more of that.
Do you have any advice or words of wisdom to share with anyone in the industry regarding this upcoming year?
Let's see. It's funny because I've been in this industry for over a decade, so I should give myself some credit, but I always feel a little bit silly giving advice. So I'm like, who, me? Okay. This year, so I'll just say personally. So personally, this year, I found myself getting a bit down when I
Mhm.
would read a news headline about our industry scaring people yet again, or
Mm.
claiming that something that has been proven effective is not effective, or just really being negative to the general population about our industry. And I can get down about that sometimes. So I take a step back whenever that happens. And I just think about the efficacious, unique ingredients that I have researched in the past, that I have worked with in the past, that I have experienced on my own for whatever health benefit I was seeking in the past. And I think
Mhm.
about how no one could learn or even access these ingredients if our industry wasn't here. So
Mhm.
from something that's been around for a long, long time, like ashwagandha, right?
Mhm.
So if to very, very new probiotics or very, very new postbiotics that are coming out and are on just the verge, they're new. So that's what, I think about. And I guess my advice is just, you know, make sure you understand that we're in an industry that has a lot of haters. So represent our industry well. So, and don't get down about the haters too, because there are so many good players in our industry that really are not, just out for an easy profit, but really are
Mhm.
invested in these ingredients and providing something that people wouldn't be able to find elsewhere. Like
Mhm.
I always think about like our Bliss probiotics, our oral health probiotics. They're so niche, and it's who would think about that? And you're not going to
Mhm.
find that in a at a doctor's office. You're not going to be prescribed it. So,
Right.
but extremely effective ingredient for your nose and throat health.
Right. And
So
if you think about it, there's haters in every industry. So
yeah, true. I was just talking about pharma,
there's
right? I'm like, they do have haters. So it's
yeah,
like,
I mean, I think people get hung up. It's sad to say, but people sometimes get hung up and enjoy negativity.
yeah,
Does that make sense? Like they
it does. I
thrive
mean,
off
those
of negativity.
headlines.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
being used to work in the newspaper business, there's a saying that if it bleeds, it leads,
Yeah.
which so yeah, people pay attention to the negativity more than they do the positivity.
Yeah.
The thing
Yeah.
I like about this industry is that it doesn't necessarily do what I just said. So there's the positives tend to come to the forefront in this industry, which is a good thing. So
Yes, it is. It is. Maybe my advice is just more simple, and it's just don't read the news because it's all negative.
yeah,
They're just trying to get
yeah.
your attention with the most negative headlines. So
I mean, they are attention grabbers.
they
They are.
are,
So
they are. So yeah, it'll be an interesting day when there's, a nice positive headline, in a national
mhm,
news source
mhm.
about a supplement.
Right. And one
I live to see the day.
right. Well, and let's give some props to CRN. I mean, CRN is one of the fighters for positivity across
Yep.
the industry. Anytime there's something negative
Yeah, they
that comes
respond
out, the
right back.
CRN has a response, and they have validation behind their responses. They have support for that. So some
Yes. Yes. No, absolutely. 100% on the same page with you. And it is so, so comforting. Maybe that's a strong word, but it does. It's so comforting for me to read their responses after I see those headlines, and just they're reiterating the science, the history, and just giving like that positive argument, or saying, wait, you haven't checked everything here, or you need to check your facts again. So that is yes, they're a fantastic group. So it's just seeing the headlines published first.
And a lot of the times the negativity, it's not from people that have experience in the industry.
Right.
Does that make sense? It's like a small outside source that might have a dabble in the industry or whatever.
You're right. It's not necessarily a headline coming from somebody within it's not from somebody from within the industry. It might, it probably isn't even a supplement user.
Exactly.
And I mean,
exactly.
so yes, it's, again, take them all with a grain of salt. Don't get down about it. Represent your industry well, keep doing what you're doing, with the right purpose behind it. There are so many positives in our industry, so focus on that. Yeah.
All righty. Let's wrap it up here. What does Stratum have planned for 2023? Is there anything you can you spill the beans on, or what's coming up from Stratum in 2023?
Okay, so I can't spill the beans on much, but I can say that it is our 20th birthday year.
Yay.
So,
Yes,
some people have a birthday. In my family, we have a birthday week, and Stratum's going to have a birthday year. So
absolutely.
We are definitely going to be celebrating at Supply Side West. How we're doing that, can't tell you yet.
It's top secret, but we will let everyone know.
Exactly. And we, like I said, we were working all through 2022 on growing, and the industry is going to see some new ingredients this year in our portfolio that I'm very, very, very excited about, and I can't tell you anything yet. So we're like 3 weeks ahead of when I could say anything. So
right.
But I'm very, very excited for what we're going to be onboarding this year. And we are going to be at a few new conferences this year too, in the pet industry, the sport industry, general health. So there'll be more Stratum and more discussion, and I just think, it's going to be a good year. I'm very, very excited for 2023.
As am I. Sounds like it's going to be amazing. Some possible new ingredients coming down the pipeline. Hint. And like you said, just more Stratum, kind of like Christopher Walken's More Cowbell.
Exactly. You know what this song needs? More Stratum. You know what this industry needs? More Stratum.
More Stratum. Absolutely.
Can we exit out of the podcast with that cowbell song? Just
we should.
From SNL, just banging, let's fade out.
Absolutely. That is a good outro.
Classic.
Alexis, thanks for the recap.
Yeah, thanks for doing this. I'm glad I got you on the podcast.
No, we'll see. We'll see. It's fun.
It is.
And I
I
like to joke around. I hope everybody doesn't get tired of my
bring
sense of humor. So
every day you just bring the sunshine. You do.
That's right.
You do. It's one of your strengths.
I do have a saying, anybody says, "How are you?" I say, "Best day ever." So
there you go. So I think that could be a new catchphrase on our podcast.
It could be.
All right. Well, enjoy your best day ever.
Hope you had happy holidays. Looking forward to a fantastic 2023.
Here's to 2023.
Absolutely. Have a good day.
You too.
Bye.